Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 8, I think. 8 or 7? I don't know.
Yep.
Of the Microphone Club. We're back. It's been a week since the last episode, but we're back. The connection, we've had a lot of connection issues lately, so it's been a little bit hard to record. We've been using Google Meets usually to record our things, but today we're using Discord, so that's fun. Today we have a few things lined up for you. It's not a really jam-packed episode this week, but there's some stuff to talk about. Somehow we always make the episodes 40 minutes long. I don't know how we do it, but we do. So today on the menu, we're going to talk about the Man of the Moon album. We're going to discuss the Jack Harlow album. Malachi, I want to talk about a few things, and we have some questions from a Q&A, which we will get to at the end of the episode. Man of the Moon by Kid Cudi. Man of the Moon number 3, the third one. Let's get into it. Malachi.
It was a very, very solid overall project, I felt. Obviously, Kid Cudi is a huge inspiration to a lot of artists now. Like, it's mainly Travis Scott.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, started a bit of an issue with Sean C. Him saying, sound like... I mean, I agree, though. Like, there were definitely some song, like, She Knows This was, like, definitely a song. Okay, Travis could have made the exact same song and would have been cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, I loved the song with Pop Smoke and
Bro, that song was a banger.
That was an absolute banger. I think the three of them over that drill type of beat was just great.
Yeah.
Kid Cudi also fit really nicely on the song too. Like it was like overall all three of them did their thing, and I think the versatility of the album shows. We had some songs where there's more rapping, some songs with like a drill beat type. Sometimes just more a vibe, slower. I think overall we got a good mix of different types of music, kind of on this album, and it was overall a good project. The song with Trippie Redd was actually a very good song too.
Rockstar Nights, I enjoyed that song a lot. I enjoyed that song.
That was a great song too. My personal favorite might have been between Heaven on Earth and Show Out. My two favorite songs I think on this album.
Show Out is by far my favorite song on the album. I liked The Void. I liked Rockstar Nights. I liked 40 Kids. I liked Lord I Know. I don't remember the first half of the album for some reason. I don't know why. I guess it just came out of the memories. But I thought it was a very solid Kid Cudi project. One issue people had was it sounds too much like Travis Scott, but I mean I feel like their style is so similar. It's hard to be so different. I guess. And then a lot of arguments I saw is that Kid Cudi just copied Travis Scott or like did his Travis Scott impression, but like Kid Cudi is also kind of like the pioneer of this kind of like melodic rap, like deep kind of trap, I guess is what we would call it. And I guess people draw the comparisons because Kid Cudi doesn't drop as much, and Travis Scott is much bigger. Is a much bigger mascot for that kind of sound, I guess.
So Travis sort of reinvented that sound when obviously he draws a big Cudi influence.
Yep.
But he kind of reinvented that sound and then inspired a lot of other artists to come from that. Similar to how we look at Lil Wayne and Young Thug, you could see the influence there, but Young Thug has sort of taken that sound and sort of reinvented it himself, and that's to me like a huge, and its impact like most of trap right now, the trap genre is influenced primarily by Young Thug, I think. Look at artists like Lil Uzi Vert, his basic prodigy Young Thug. At least when you look at the music, someone like Lil Keed. It's someone like Lil Baby as well. It's a lot. You see a heavy Young Thug influence.
You can see
that Young Thug took that Lil Wayne kind of sound.
You can see that influence, but you can also like know that it's like the artist. Like the problem, once again, with fucking Nav, okay, is like he took influence from so many artists, but like he didn't really like put his own like spin on it, I guess. Like Lil Baby, you could say he took inspiration from other people, but he also like kind of made his own sound. And I think, yeah, with Travis Scott, you get the same thing with Kid Cudi. But honestly, back to the album, very solid all the way through. I didn't think there was like many like genuine skips, but there's only like 6 or 7 tracks. I'll feel like that'll be like in my rotation kind of thing. But overall, good album. I thought. I really enjoyed it thoroughly. It's been a long time since a Cudi project, and this one felt pretty complete. I liked how we tried like rapping a little bit more. That was good from him. And yeah, and if you haven't listened to it, give it a good listen. It's like a solid like 7.5 out of 10 album. I thought it was good.
Yeah, it's just a very solid project overall. Like the production's great. It's just a good listen overall.
Yeah.
And I think because, like I said, the versatility, it's easy for anyone to enjoy this type of album.
Mhm. And switching gears here, we had another album that dropped last Friday as well. Jack Harlow dropped "That's What They All Say." Pretty good track. Pretty okay, I guess. I didn't think it was that bad. It wasn't terrible, but it was alright. There was a lot of good things on that album. I thought. The Lil Baby song, very good. All the songs he had with features, I thought were pretty good.
Yeah. Honestly, I thoroughly enjoyed this project. I think, like I said, I wasn't a huge fan of What's Poppin'. Like it was just a whatever kind of track. I mean, it was very popular, obviously, especially on TikTok and just everywhere. It was a very popular song. But I gave this album a spin, and I think there was like 4 straight tracks. I was just like, "Yep, add to playlist, add to playlist,
Mhm.
add to playlist." I think that's good in albums like that.
Yeah.
I liked my favorite track. I think was the song with Chris Brown was a very good song. Big Sean's was very good. I think 21C Delta. I think that's what it was called. It was a
That
very
one was
good.
pretty
It kind
good.
of it was like a Drake kind of influence kind of song, but
Yeah.
it was a very good
You
song.
could tell like it was kind of like
Yeah,
like Drake kind of content, but
yeah.
honestly, I still thought it was an enjoyable album. Um,
Mhm.
I don't know. I just over like Jack Harlow. I don't think he's a terrible artist. He just kind of has that like white basic rapper mantra to him, which
Yeah.
kind of has a weird effect on hip hop listeners. But I think he's a fine artist, and he's shown some skill in this project. But overall, I think he can do more, and there's definitely more to build off of on this project.
I think hopefully in the future, I think to maybe keep his project sort of refreshing and new, I think maybe just experiment with like more producers and stuff.
I
I
think
think
that's like the best thing artists can do if they want to change up what they're doing, like help maybe switch up their flow, switch up their content, which always isn't
Mhm.
easy, but also working with new producers that can kind of give you a new beat that you never tried before, or what if you did this with your song, something like that could really help switching up your song and your content. But yeah,
yeah,
other than that, good project. I'd give it a listen if you have the time. It's only like 45 minutes long, and there's 3 songs that you can skip. Tyler Hero, what's poppin' and the What's Poppin' remix, because those came out
so
before.
they're
If you
yeah,
already haven't listened to them, but yeah, a pretty solid album. It's like a 6.5 to 7, I'd say, out of 10.
yeah. It's like
Def-
solid.
Definitely not as good as the Kid Cudi album, but
Yeah.
yeah, give it a listen. Switching gears here, there's something you wanted to talk about, right? An album's
Oh yeah.
anniversary,
So
yeah.
one of my favorite albums that of all time, "Do What Thou Wilt" by Absol. It was like its anniversary, a 4 year anniversary earlier this week. Like during 2016, when obviously TDA went on like a great run, like Schoolboy Q, Kendrick, I think SZA as well. Was it Arsenal 2014? They also dropped, and it was a great year for that label. And yeah, I think if you haven't already, give it a listen. It's and also the cover art is also amazing. Which is something we're going to get into as well. Yeah,
Yeah. Just I don't know, man. I feel like um sometimes we really look at like past albums
Mhm.
like with like nostalgia kind of thing, because we associate with past memories that were like past good memories. And I think that's why
Mhm.
everyone looks at like 2016 as like such a good. I mean, it was a good year of music, but everyone just sees 2016 as like the last like great year everyone collectively had, because 2020 definitely not the best year for everyone mentally. I would say, but I think the music content we've gotten has been superb. Um, we've gotten so many
Hmm.
projects from so many good artists. A lot of like new artists have come up that we've been able to experience. We obviously lost a couple promising artists, but I thought 2020 was pretty solid. The next thing we will be discussing is the our favorite the our favorite album covers. Uh, just off the top of our head, like I tend to go towards albums with like a meaning behind it, or if like they're more eye catching. Like sometimes album
Hmm.
covers can be like really boring. So what are your like kind of favorites album covers?
I mean, obviously, between me and you, like Logic has when it comes to album covers, I don't think he's ever missed.
No.
Like all of them are phenomenal.
If we're separating
With the
the cover from the content, then yeah,
they're all phenomenal. Like the Everybody album cover is like
is
it's
crazy.
crazy to me.
There's so much like
Yeah,
shit to
there's
find.
yeah, and there's so many Easter eggs. Like I don't know if we call it Easter eggs, but like so many like hidden details that he puts on it and
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, obviously Kanye has some great album covers too, like the trilogy from
College
like
dropout, late registration, and
College
graduation.
Dropout, Late Rich. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, then you have like just I mean, obviously the Kid Cudi album cover was great.
Sam
For
Spratt.
Madam
Shout
Mutri.
out Sam Spratt.
Yeah,
This guy's
he's a
goaded.
phenomenal.
This guy's goaded.
Yeah, also the No Pressure album cover was great too.
Yeah.
Like I think we don't give that enough credit because I think in a way it can add to the album itself. Like when you give the album cover like and it's the title of the album too, it
It's
adds
what you
to
associate
yeah.
the content with, right? It's easier to
Hmm.
remember a good cover with a good song with a good song content.
Yeah.
I'm also I don't hate simple album covers. Um
Yeah.
like the new Pop Smoke album was really simple. It's like a black rose with a black background, but I thought the simplicity was good for the album. I kind of
Hmm.
liked it. Um, like J Cole just sitting on the on the roof of his house. Um,
Hmm.
pretty simple, but large meaning behind it. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like an album cover is pretty important because obviously like if I'm just like some dude scrolling through my Instagram Explore page and I see like a cool album cover, maybe I'll go check out the album because the cover is cool to look at.
Yeah. Who else has some? I love the Tip of Butterfly album cover as well. Like
Yep.
with like it's just like the message behind it.
Mhm.
And we also look at like maybe it's not really an album, but Lil Baby, like the bigger picture, like the song, like
Yeah.
the single for that, like it was pretty powerful meaning, and it came on the I think it was him on the bicycle,
Yeah.
and
In the protest, right? Yeah.
yeah, and that's huge as well. Like there's a lot of meaning. Look for and there's some that are like very like again like simplistic ones are cool too. I think like sometimes it doesn't necessarily like need to be anything like crazy, but the simplicity adds to the music
Yeah.
at the same time too.
You don't need to do too much because like
Yeah.
Igor really kind of basic cover. Um,
Hmm.
both of Frank Blonde and Chanel Orange are really not that like eye catching in terms of covers, but good albums. Uh,
Hmm.
one like one really good album cover I like is Views when Drake's sitting on the CN
Right.
Tower. I think that's a very good cover. Uh, but yeah, I mean, there's so many good like music cover. It's kind of like the cover of your book, you know.
Hmm.
Um, like if I'm at a library and I'm like looking through the cover, I'm looking at the cover and the title, and if the title and the cover are good, maybe I want to see the content of that, especially if you're new. So yeah, I just think really make your covers kind of they don't have to be like so much to them, but like you know
Hmm.
make them have some sort of meaning or make them I don't like simplicity can be eye catching too. I think.
Yeah. It's like some of my favorite albums. Well, I think another great album cover would be Malibu by Anderson Paak. It's like a really, really cool album cover. I think it's like my wallpaper on my laptop as well. It's It's a great. It's just like visually like pleasing. And then Daniel Caesar, he has some great album covers as well with Fujin and the what's it called? Pilgrim Paradise. Here we go. Those are great. I think I don't know if there's any correlation between them, but it seems like there kind of is because like Pilgrim Paradise, it's him I think falling. It looks like he's falling. Then on Fujin, it's like him climbing on something. I don't know if there's any correlation, but I think it's kind of cool the way they sort of go off of each other.
Yeah.
Um, there's, I mean, and there's like now I'm like blank face LP, which just like there's some like iconic ones where it's like, you have like Schoolboy Q, and then it's always him just wearing a mask.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think are like iconic album covers?
Iconic.
Like iconic album. I feel like Die Lit is a pretty iconic album cover. I feel like that was a good one. Rodeo, Travis Scott, pretty iconic album cover, I thought. You also have like every Michael Jackson album is like an iconic cover. And even though he's just like sitting down or something, but you know, King of Pop, right? Nothing was the same. I guess you can kind of associate iconic albums with iconic covers, but I'm trying like sometimes the cover can like, you know, make an album just a little bit better. But yeah, let us know what your favorite album covers are in the comments. Tweet us. I'm interested to know. Maybe we didn't cover some that were blatantly obvious. But yeah. Speaking of fan interaction, we asked for a Q&A. We got like I think like 5 or 6 questions.
Yeah, we got a few good questions. We got 0 on Twitter. I just want to say all of you.
Okay, y'all disrespected Malachi on Twitter because 8 of you liked the tweet and didn't put a question, bro. It's kind of cheese if I do say so myself.
I mean, it's not cool, but
no, it's not cool.
All
okay,
right, let's go.
So the questions Malachi has them written down. So let's get right into them. Do you know who they're from? You remember who they're from?
Yes, I got some on Instagram instead. We went there. We got some questions. I did like an Instagram poll, and people not a poll, sorry, like the questions box, whatever. And people dropped some questions. So we're gonna read some. So from Domo the rapper, he asked us, "What are our thoughts on Drake as a shout out Domo? What are our thoughts on Drake as a generational artist and what he's done for the game?"
Hold on, before this, go stream Domo's music. Give him a shot.
He's an artist, upcoming artist. He makes wonderful music. Y'all should go listen to him. He's on the come up. He's next up.
He's on all streaming platforms, I think. So
yeah,
go check him out.
Even if you're on Amazon Music, I don't know who uses that, but if you use that,
no one uses Amazon Music anyway. Drake as influence on the game, and as a generation rapper. So Drake to me is a generational rapper. I think he defines our generation, especially the 2010s to now.
Yes.
Drake has just dominated. I feel like, a lot of people gravitate away from Drake because of like the whole ghostwriting thing, and like he doesn't really like. A lot of people say he doesn't like say stuff, but like if you listen like on like some cuts from like Nothing Was the Same or like Take Care, Drake really does get into it sometimes. But Drake's past to come up now. He's really rich. He's just chilling, doing his thing. Like Drake really doesn't need to drop any more music if we're being real. But I feel like his influence on the game is really like we talked about with Jack Harlow. A lot of influence comes from there, and Drake is just a hit god. Everyone listens to Drake worldwide, especially in Toronto. Like if we're talking about influence, he put Toronto on like the world map. If we're being real, a lot of people know about Canada and Toronto because of Drake.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, Drake sort of solidified his legacy. Like he doesn't need to do anything else at this point. He's like you look at what Travis Scott's doing with the marketing and everything. Drake's been through that sort of phase as well, and he just at this point, I mean, he could drop like his next album, hopefully, comes out in January, and there's gonna be at least 3 to 4 hits at least maybe even probably even five like the hits that we're gonna hear like a lot from
Drake's also
whether it be
guaranteed.
TikTok.
Drake's also guaranteed just like 500K like first week. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Drake's obviously the biggest artist in the game, and like you said, he's that sound like the mix. You've seen a lot more mix of like rap and R&B
yeah,
type of music now. Like, I think Drake has really because he's sort of taken influence from like rappers, but also R&B artists, which has influenced his own, and he's turned into his own style, like we've talked
mm-hmm.
about before. And I think that's definitely influenced this generation of hip hop.
Yeah.
Like artists, even artists like I think it's hard to classify what he is really, but he's one of my favorite artists, and he's definitely like you can see. I mean, his vocal like he's different vocally than Drake. Like his voice sounds a lot different, but
The
he
style's
definitely
there.
that rap and
Yeah.
yeah, the rap and singing it sort of is definitely Drake someone that's inspired that.
I don't even think it's like necessarily like singing. It's like I don't know, just like kind of like the like melodic kind of like I don't even know.
Kind of like dancehall.
Yeah, I don't even know if you like because Drake does everything right. Like Drake, you get your trap, you get your bangers, you get your dancehall. You get your like real shit, your sad shit. You get everything from Drake, and he's pretty good at all of it. I'm more of a fan of his like trap banger type shit. Like if you're reading this is too late, or like What a Time to Be Alive. I like those albums the most because that's just kind of the music I'm into more. But I do still dig like Nothing Was the Same or Take Care. I think he has a pretty solid catalog too, from start to finish. Scorpion probably his most mad project. I think that's mainly because of how long it was. If you cut,
yeah, it had two sides, or whatever.
Yeah.
So if you could have made it a lot shorter. That's
yeah, like I feel like half the you could have taken a lot of the things off there, and it still would have been forgotten. There's still a lot of good cuts from that album. I won't lie, but overall, Drake is the guy of this generation. Oh, I just think, but yeah, Domo, thanks for the question.
Yeah. So our next question from Tina Depe. I don't this your last name is really hard to pronounce, but so she asked for us to name our Spotify rap in our next episode. We actually did that in our last episode.
Listen to our last episode called 2020 Wrapped. Find it on all streaming platforms. Search up the Microphone Club. It'll be there.
Yeah, we did that in our last episode. So if you want to see what our Spotify rap play, just check that out.
I mean, recap. I had Travis Scott number 1, Logic number 2, Don Toliver number 3, 4. No. Pop Smoke was 2. 3 was Logic. 4 Don Toliver and 5 was Quavo. So there you go.
Yeah. So my top 5 I think was Earl Sweatshirt. Number 2 was Denzel Curry. Number 3 was who's number 3? I can't. Oh, Isaiah Rashad. Number 4 was Coda the Friend. Number 5 was Absol. So
there you go.
There we go. That's
quick recap.
If you want to do a quick.
If you want an in-depth one, listen to our last episode.
Yeah. And then our next question from Attic.me. He asked, why do you think so many rappers are being targeted, especially this year, with gun violence leading to death?
It's because so many rappers come from the gangster lifestyle, I think.
Yeah. I mean that's a big thing. But then you look at like someone like 6ix9ine and how he's always I mean he definitely has a target on his head.
6ix9ine was never really about that life though,
yeah.
I think too. But I think the problem is some artists have reached a certain status where they're not gonna get like they're no longer in that gangster kind of lifestyle. Like they're kind of like above like gun violence and stuff now. You see that with like the much larger artists, but these like up and coming artists that are coming out of like the projects and are just trying to like make it out of the hood. They're still like really involved in that lifestyle because they're also young. Like all these rappers dying from gun violence are like 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 years old. Like they're really young for the rap scene, and they're still really involved in that type of lifestyle because you gotta understand like. They're like just kind of blowing up, and then you see them get killed. That happened with King Von, especially. We saw that happen with him earlier this year. Because he's still super. Because that's like his family, right? That's like his gang. He's grown up with them. That's what he knows, So he's obviously gonna stay involved with that kind of lifestyle for like as long as he can. Because that's just kind of how they're like brought up to be. You know, your family is your friends, stuff like that. Like you gotta stay like that. And he wants to bring everyone up with him. But along with that, when you see someone succeeding, some people don't like that, right? So that's a major problem too.
Mhm. Yeah, that's like the main gist of that. It's a very good question, but that's like the main sort of gist of it. You a lot of it is like you look at someone when X, but then you look at some rappers that aren't even affiliated necessarily with that lifestyle, or at least to which how it led to their
Yeah.
deaths. Like someone like X, like he was just in his car, and then people pulled up there. I think he was gonna buy a motorcycle that day, or no, not a
No, he
motorcycle. He
left. He
was
left. He
was it a
was
motorcycle?
driving home or something. He was at the
Yeah,
motorcycle shop, and then he was driving home, and then they just rolled up and shot him.
yeah, and I mean, and at that instance in his life, he was trying to make himself a better person,
Yeah.
and it all sort of just happened. Look at someone like Nipsey Hussle, who um, sort of got out of that situation when through music, and then was back to sort of make the community a better place. But then
Yeah.
that's what eventually led
Like
to
at
him
some
getting
point,
shot.
you're always linked to your affiliation, right? Like no matter what.
Mhm.
And a lot of people that are affiliated with gangs and stuff, that's kind of like the the code. I can't really speak on this because personally, I have zero experience with being about that life. I just listen.
Me
I,
neither. Me
I
neither.
just listen to
Yeah.
music. I just
Yeah.
listen to music. Um, but yeah, man. I think that's the main reason we see gun violence. Another thing is, just to add to that is, people hate seeing others succeed. I think is also like a main thing. Um, we as humans want what
Yeah.
others have. It just is what it is for the most part. To be envious of someone else. So especially if you're in
Mhm.
like an opposite gang, right? You just kill them because you can't attain that lifestyle. So I don't know. You go down a world of crime, unfortunately.
Yeah. And that's
But yeah,
usually, and I think that kind of
yeah,
sums up the
that's a good question though.
gist of
Thank
your
you,
question. Yes. So our next question, from Nicola Pejic 17,
Nicola. Shout
he
out,
asked us,
bro.
what, yeah, the future after the coronavirus for music?
We're gonna see a lot of performances and tours. I can guarantee you that.
A lot.
I feel like
Mm-hmm.
in terms of like
Oh.
music being made might not be as much, probably won't be
Mhm.
as much, but performances, tours, all that are gonna be crazy. Your favorite artist is definitely gonna be touring somewhere at all times. So get ready for that. Get your money up. Uh, Go see your favorite artist perform. That's what post COVID music looks like for me. Also, we've also learned so much from COVID. We've all been affected mentally. Um, so I guess in terms of rap content itself, we might get a little bit about that.
Hmm. And it's I think for a little bit, because we're gonna definitely see more tours and more concerts and stuff like that. Um, I think I don't want to say the quality. I think the amount of music might slow down just a little bit,
Yeah.
because artists have because this year, like, artists have been pushing out a lot of music this year. Like Uzi had two projects, two, but technically three, technically four, because they had two main and the deluxe on both. Same with Future. Future had his album, and then the deluxe
Hmm.
version on his album. I don't know if his album had deluxe, but he had the deluxe on the Pluto's. Like a lot of main artists have pushed out a lot of music this year, and I think like that's gonna drop down for a bit, because they're gonna focus more on touring, and trying to get back their money and stuff like that, I guess. So we're definitely gonna see a bit of a decline in amount of music put out. The quality, I don't know. The quality just depends on
I
the
think,
quality. Like I can't.
yeah.
It's hard to say
What I
with
was gonna
that.
say is we might not see that drop off for a while, because everything's
Mhm.
kind of backed up, right? Because no one's performing, every artist is making music, right? Every single artist, because they can't perform. So for the next maybe year and a half or so, we'll still get good projects from artists that didn't drop this year because they were working
Mhm.
on it this year when they had nothing else to do. Like for example, next year, okay, I don't really know what's supposed to happen, but I think rumors saying I know a Travis album is confirmed, a Drake album is confirmed. Um,
Hmm.
J. Cole and Kendrick are rumored, and obviously they've been, mastering their craft this year, right? Because they've had nothing else to do, and that's their work and their job. So I feel like we can still expect really quality, good projects from our favorite artists next year, as well. But also, don't be surprised if all the artists this year drop again next year because in hip hop, it's quality. I mean, sorry, it's quantity over quality because you'll do the same numbers and make the same money no matter what you drop.
Yeah. But that's a like future. I mean, it really just depends. I mean, we kind of see what obviously there's gonna be definitely more tourism, whatever. But it's hard to say what's really gonna happen. Um, but I mean, because artists have found new ways to sort of be involved with the music community. We've seen artists go to Twitch and do like Twitch streams with
Instagram
making
Live,
beats and
yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah. So and that's gonna still, I think that's gonna still be pretty prevalent in within next few years. I think because we adapted that as a way of media now. So yeah, that's again a good question.
Thank you,
But
Nicola. Shout
so
out.
moving forward, yeah. So our next question from Anthony underscore Panza. So he's asking us, who do we think is better between JID and Denzel Curry?
I have no idea.
That's a very good question.
I have no idea.
That I actually really like that
Take it away.
question. So this is actually a good question, and I like this comparison because there are two artists that I think should be like. I think we've talked about this before. Like, there's a lot of people that compare artists that have no reason, have no business being compared
Mm-hmm.
with each other. Like, I've
Yeah.
seen people compare like 21 Savage and like fucking like Earl Sweatshirt or some shit, and it's like it doesn't make any sense.
Completely different
Or
content.
people
Like,
would compare, yeah, people would compare like The Weeknd and Uzi. And it's like, I mean, I get maybe because they're both popular artists, but does to me again doesn't make any sense.
like The Weeknd's
Comparing
not a
those two
rapper.
artists. Yeah, and it's they don't make this anywhere near the same type of
If you're
sort
gonna
of
compare
music.
people, like you could do like Kid Cudi and Travis, Frank Ocean, The Weeknd, Future and Lil Uzi. You could compare, and I'm not just saying that because these people have collabed on albums. Like they have kind of similar styles. You can't like compare Earl Sweatshirt and Kid Cudi because completely different.
Yeah, like, yeah. But so for this question now, it's a, it's a bit of a tough question because um, obviously my Spotify rap, like I definitely listened to Denzel Curry more, like by a lot, and I think this year we only got a project from Denzel. So I think I'm gonna go with Denzel only because he has a larger catalog as of right now, but that could change pretty soon
Okay,
because
question
like I've
though, what makes
yeah.
him better? Like what specifically makes him better?
Well, like okay, here's the thing. They they have there's things JID does better, things Denzel does. I think JID is definitely more conscious and has better substance to
From the
what he
little
raps
I've
about.
heard from both of them, they both have really good flows.
Yeah, okay, both their flows are amazing.
Yeah.
That's one thing. But JID I think is definitely more conscious and has um like, better substance in what he raps about for sure. Like
Yeah.
they definitely at least for me at least, I think Denzel has better delivery. Like he puts more emphasis on his word. And it sounds like he puts a bit more like just hard emphasis on what he's saying. Like if that makes sense. Bars kind of toss up. Like it just depends between two of them. Production like um they both work with great producers. So it's hard to say who has rapped a better production. I think, but I'm going with Denzel solely mainly because um he has a wider discography, like I guess to listen to. Um but that could change because JID is still one of my, he only has really the two albums, and Denzel has like he has unlocked Taboo Zoo, uh Imperial, he has an Nostalgia 64, like he has a large geography of stuff to listen to, and also 13. Again, like I said, that could change because after hearing some of the snippets, from what JID had with Jay Versace, like that to me that sounds like great, and I can't wait till that drops. If it drops, it probably won't drop, but I'm good with Denzel because there's more to listen to. I think, but I don't know. I don't want like no disrespect to JID. I think he's an amazing artist, and it's not by a lot. But yeah, I'm going with Denzel Curry for this one.
What projects would you recommend from each? Like one project.
Actually,
I guess JID only has one, but like, which one would you rather recommend to people?
DiCaprio 2. But then the Never Story is great too. But I think DiCaprio 2. But then also his if you ever listed the
Revenge of the Dreamers.
Revenge of the Dreamers 3.
Yeah.
There's he has his contributions on like all the songs he was on are all amazing. And then for Denzel, I'm gonna go with Taboo, Imperial. Maybe
I
maybe
saw.
Unlocked.
I remember. I saw JID in concert because he opened for
Oh,
Logic.
the Logic.
He opened for
Yeah,
Logic,
and that,
so
yeah,
I saw him. Yeah.
yeah,
I think it was him and Corday. So it was a pretty cool
yeah.
opening. That concert is actually what got me into Corday, personally. He's really good. But yeah, sum up your question. Malachi thinks he would go Denzel Curry for now, but that could change depending on what else JID drops.
Yeah.
For me,
It also depends
yeah.
on you too. But...
For me, I got no clue. I don't listen to either enough to have an opinion, so I'm not gonna give one.
All right. So our next question again, from Domo the rapper. Shout out Domo.
Shout out Domo. Listen to his music.
He asked us who is the best female artist out right now. It's a good question. There's a few really good female artists in music right now that have sort of been, I guess, dominating, if you would say.
Best female artist out right now.
Yeah.
Keeping it 100 with y'all. I don't listen to too many female artists. It's more like, I'm listening to a song of an artist like that I regularly listen to. They have a feature like Tokyo Drift, by Lil Yachty has Tierra Whack on it. Tierra Whack's I thought she's a really good lyricist. Good flow too. It was like a pitter patter kind of flow. I really liked that. But yeah, I mean, Megan Thee Stallion is not a terrible artist. That new Body song I think is god awful. I don't like it. But I don't think she's a terrible artist. Cardi B I don't like. Nicki Minaj I guess she doesn't really count right now. But I really feel like I can't think of enough. Yene Aiko is not a rapper, but you know she would be up there for me if she was.
But yeah.
But yeah, I don't really.
I think for me, yeah, for me, well, all the female artists I listen to, okay, I'll go with the hip hop female artists first. So, I don't, not too familiar with their full catalogs, but Rhapsody she's been on a feature on like a lot of songs I've listened to, and all of them are like 10 out of 10 feature verses. I think she definitely does not get the credit she deserves as an MC, as at least in terms of female artists. Like she's like an amazing rapper. She what was it? It was I think there was a song she had with on Busta Rhymes' latest album. I forgot what it's called, but her verse was great. She had a verse on I think Malibu with Anderson .Paak. I can't remember what song was it. It was like I don't know if it was The Waters. No, that wasn't The Waters. But I can't remember what song, but it was a great. Her verse was great on that. She had a verse on The Law with Absol and Mac Miller. Again, amazing. Like to me, like I definitely should go through her personal like discography because all of her feature verses have been just phenomenal. What I've heard. The other female artists I listened to mainly more R&B. Like I
Yeah.
really like SZA. Her music is amazing. Control is a great project.
There's so many
like,
good female R&B artists. Like it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mentioned before Yene Aiko. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. There's like a J. There's like a J and H and an E with an accent. I'm not getting close to pronouncing that. She's very good. Rihanna is a god, so yeah, her too.
Rihanna's god too, yeah.
Beyonce, yeah, I just female. I really like female R&B artists. I haven't listened to enough female rap artists yet. Maybe I should.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hopefully that answers your question, Domo.
So yeah, but there's also still a few more. I think obviously Ariana Grande. I know Domo, he loves Ariana Grande, and she's her album Positions is a phenomenal album. Came out earlier this year. It's a great album. Ari Leno, who is affiliated with Dreamville, the Dreamville record label. I listened to her um album that came out. I think it came out. Let's say I can't remember what year it came out, but might have came out before the Revenge of Dreamers tape. Um, or maybe it came out this. I don't know, but that was a great album. I think it was something Shea Butter, or maybe there was like a song with. I don't know if she had a song with J Cole on that. It's a great song. There's also yeah, Avery Leno's great. SZA's obviously great, like we said. Janae Aiko is obviously great too. Someone that she was, I guess, earlier within a decade was a Lori Joe. She had a lot of like features on Absol's projects. Unfortunately, she took her own life back in like I think it was like 2011, 2012. Very unfortunate, but I think she could have flourished as one of like an amazing female sort of arm. Like she bodied like choruses and hooks. That she could have really flourished, but it's unfortunate what happened. But yeah, I think out of for female artists, I think that kind of we kind of
We kind of talked about everyone.
puts on. Yeah. Yeah. So shout out Dom for that question. But yeah, so next up we have Rawad with so he asked us the best duos in the music industry.
Okay. Let me just. Okay. Travis Scott and Young Thug.
Mm-hmm.
I think are very good. Gunna and Lil Baby. I think are also a very good duo. Drake and Future. Very good duo. I'm trying to think of other like duos. Tyler and ASAP.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I don't know. Like I wouldn't even say Future and Lil Uzi Vert are the greatest duo because that album wasn't that great. Yeah. Uh, X and Ski Mask. They were also very good.
Yeah.
Whoa. There's a couple really good duos. I'm not really into like the side of rap Malachi's on yet. I do enjoy the music. I just don't listen to as much. So I'm sure he has more duos from there.
Yeah. There's some duos that I think like a lot of fans be getting annoying with like, oh, collab tape, but like it's never gonna happen. Like when you tell this artist to collab with certain artists, but like
not for a whole project.
So goddamn. I think Earl Sweatshirt and Vince Staples, whenever they're on the same track, it's always like just an instant classic to me.
Yeah.
We go back to Doris. We had a Hive with like Vince. That was one like if you haven't heard, like you should listen to it. The Hive, like Vince Staples' verse on that is crazy. We go to I Don't Like Shall Go Outside. Vince and Earl just kind of they just do their thing again, and then but that's kind of like they only have 3 songs. Well, they had like 4 songs together, and I mean all of them are just amazing songs. And then we kind of get like a tease on Vince Staples' FM project that came out 2018. He puts like an interlude on his project, but it's just Earl Sweatshirt rapping for 22 seconds. It just like we thought we were gonna get something, but nah. It was just Earl rapping for 22 seconds. It was like, and it was fire too, but it was like.
Got your ass.
Who else? There's some other. I mean, obviously we talk about producers and such. Some other
Metro Boomin, 21 Savage, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Some other duos.
I don't. I think they only have like one cut together, but Playboy Cardi and Lil Uzi, I guess they're potential for a really good duo. Other than that, I mean, I feel like we're missing something.
Yeah, I feel like we're missing. Oh well, for me, Absol and Schoolboy Q is definitely underrated duo because they definitely like every single song they have is an absolute banger, but doesn't really get. I mean, again, they're not really mainstream like that mainstream artists, but every song they have there is like an absolute hit to me. But trying to think of. I think we're forgetting.
I mean, I already said Travis Scott and Young Thug, but like, I guess Travis Scott and Don Toliver could be another kind of duo. Even though they only have like 3 cuts together, but I know there's a bunch more in the vault. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I can't really think off the top of my head of like mainstream kind of like rap duos that are like very good. I could think of a few that would be good, but not like ones that would like work well together right now. But yeah, I mean, overall, I guess those what we mentioned before are probably my favorite rap duos.
Oh, also Isaiah Rashad and SZA, like every time they get on a song together, it's great.
Yeah,
but I can't think of any more. What I'm trying to think of Kanye and someone.
But Kanye's kind of like
Kanye's kind of just been with everyone, so it's like it's kind of hard to.
I mean, you could say
Kanye and Jay-Z. Like I mean, watch
Kanye and Kid Cudi, Kid C Ghost.
Yeah, that's right.
You could say Kanye West and Pusha T if you wanted.
You could. Yeah, I guess you could. Because yeah, you could say that. That's true.
I don't know. A couple of these artists just work well with everyone. If we're being honest. Was that the last question?
Yes, that was our last.
Okay, question. So I got one last final question to end this whole thing off. Jacob B, you know who you are, asked us, do we think we could take Travis Scott to fight? I don't think I could. Travis Scott is like, way over 6 feet. Not way over, like 6'2", 6'3". He's also really built, and he's sporadic. So, I would never want to fight Travis Scott because, as Denzel Curry said, he's funky. So, I don't know. I don't think maybe I'd have a chance, but I don't think I'd ever want to fight him because I feel like he'd go ballistic or some shit. Yeah. So, it's a no for me.
I don't know what type of like if he practices any like fighting or whatever. I know he plays ball. I saw like the one time playing like a celebrity game or something.
When he banged a 3 with that weird ass shooting form.
Or it was like he was like dragging his foot when he was.
No, he shot it and then he went like this as he walked away.
I don't know what like if he does like MMA or some shit. I mean I don't know, probably not. But I definitely don't think I would take him to fight. I'm more of like a friendly giant, anyways. So,
yeah. I don't really see the need to really fight anyone, but like hypothetically, if I were to fight Travis Scott, I think he'd beat me. I'm also slow, and he seems like he'd be pretty fast.
Yeah.
I don't know, Malcolm. I think you could stand a chance.
I don't know. I don't really fight like that. I mean, my friend was teaching me boxing earlier in the summer. But I don't know.
No, but like I'm saying, like say like it came down to it, you had to fight him.
Oh, just like I don't know.
Like you had to fight him.
Because how much he weighs, I weigh like 170, so he's probably at least.
Malachi built like an Enderman, no cap.
He's probably like at least 190.
I don't know. I think you would have a better chance than I would to take Travis. But anyway, weird question. Jacob, thank you for asking that. We will do questions again next week, hopefully. I kind of like this segment, honestly. It brings new topics to the podcast. And I don't know.
On Twitter, they actually respond with the least question.
If not, it will be on Instagram. So, thank you guys for the questions. It actually brings a new sort of like element to the podcast. It's like we're interacting with you. Plus, it's some topics we never talked about, and we get to have some fun while doing it. And
also to mention, we updated our playlist with a bunch of songs that came out and old songs too. I just wanted to say a shout out to Chris Patrick. I think Shrek Knows Rap on Twitter. He posted him, and I've listened to the album. It's a really good album. I don't know. He seems pretty young. Like probably like I don't know how old he is. He seems like 20, maybe younger. It was a great album, and I think he has a lot of like J. Cole influence, I think, but you could tell like he has a lot of substance in his rap, and for someone that at a young age, like that's like really rare. You don't see that as much. I think usually the older you get, the wiser, whatever. But for someone so young to have so much substance in what he's rapping about is huge. So I think y'all should go give him a listen. That's basically what I've been listening to the whole day, pretty much. But yeah, so we've updated our playlist with a bunch of songs.
Every time we find a new song we like, or like we think other people would like, we just toss it in there. But yeah, everything you need for our podcast is gonna be in the description below. Thank you all for tuning in to this episode. we're kind of happy with how things have been progressing with the
Yeah.
podcast. I feel like we've built some kind of a fan base within our friends. But the next
Yeah.
goal is to get people we don't
Mm.
know listening to
Yeah.
us.
I think we're probably gonna maybe make a goal, maybe make an Instagram page with just specific to our podcast, something like that. I don't know, but like some stuff to sort of get more like people just drawn
Yeah,
in.
more interaction. But yeah,
Yeah.
look out for that. Check the links in the description. Tweet at us your thoughts. Leave some stuff in the comment section. Thank you all for tuning in.
Yeah.
We will see you in the next episode of the Microphone Club.
Yeah.
Goodbye.